Okay, I think we're on air. And we're live. Okay, aloha, everyone. We are live and inspired today. It is the Gentleman with Cocktails. Woo! All right. I'm one of your hosts, Gregory Cobra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sexy motherfuckers. Yeah, we don't have intro music, but I am one of your co-hosts, Gregory Cobra, also known in the YouTubes and the interwebs as, you guessed it, baby, Handsome Cobra. And I am joined today by...
Oh, I'm Chris Schwartzlander. Old dumb bastard.
Also known as, on the YouTubes as the Chris. The one and the only.
The Chris.
The Chris.
Or as my wife calls me, Chrissy Bear.
Oh, there we go. Got the Chrissy Bear in there.
Oh, CB.
The CB. But yes,
it's good to be back.
We're back. You bitches thought we were gone,
back.
But we weren't. We're back. Of course we are.
We had a slight hiatus. We were busy. Life gets in the way sometimes.
With like my relationships.
Life gets in the way, you know.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. I know you've been busy with your job, and I've been busy on that mini tour I did of Northern Virginia with All Star Con, and then my appearance at Comic Logic for Tripping Over Reality, my sci-fi novels. Just so everyone knows, RobCon goes on this weekend, and I'll be there. It'll be my last public appearance promoting my novels. I'll be going off air, and I'm out the game for a little bit. I'm working on a horror novel, and anything that I do in the future, I'm going to try to shop and pick up a publisher so that I'm not bearing all the expense. So from now on, Tripping Over Reality's future, the next 3 novels depend on me getting picked up by a publisher, because I'm too old to be doing this tour and from show to show, from town to town. I'm beat. So I'm out the game, bitches.
Well, you've been kicking an OG style, man. It's like, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
That's right. But I appreciate all the support I've gotten from the fans that I have, and the the artists who have gotten behind me and done work for me, and my friend Jason Goldsberry, who's always been there in my corner. But it's time to hang up the hat for a little bit and see what I can do with an actual publishing house, and work in some horror, and eventually come back around to finishing up Tripping Over Reality, because the story has to be told, and I do have to finish it.
I know,
but that's where we are.
Looking forward to old Primordial story, man. That's supposed to be the next one, bro.
No, the next one is
or is it Tachyon?
Is Cachet and Aerosol. Tachyons is the 4th one, and Primordial will be the final one.
Okay. But yeah, man. Well, on that downer, I'm not gonna be.
Give you spoilers. I can give you spoilers off air, but I won't do it on air.
No.
I have all the plot points.
But yeah, like on a sad note too, like I will not be at RobCon. I know it's fucking. I just like Chris was talking about. Yeah, like I just started a new job, and basically like the last 2 weeks I was in training. This week has been kind of like my where I spread my wings and fly on my own. It's actually so like it was a conflict of interest with GameStop, so I had to drop GameStop, but I get more pay and more hours, and Daddy got to pay the rent. So, and also too, I've been doing a little bit more consulting on. What's that?
The conflict of interest being that they wanted to have a conflict and you weren't interested.
Yeah, pretty much. Is that? I mean, I don't think the other people had a conflict. It was just like, GameStop was just like, yeah, dude, that's our competitor. So I was like, hell no. But yeah, so I'm doing also consulting on the side, like startup businesses, and also personal consulting with individuals for like fitness and stuff like that. So making the money is where I can. So yeah. It's like yeah,
good stuff.
So yeah, man. it's just like, and
about
that's the thing, like, yeah, pretty much, man. It is all about the hustle. And that's one of those things too, where it's just kind of like, I like it because the consulting stuff is more of a passion project for me. So like my other job, which is working at Target or Target. I work in electronics now, or it's now known as tech. So it's one of those things where that kind of helps it's a stable job, where consulting, it's more word of mouth. It's, job to job. And unless somebody puts me on fucking retainer, like a firm or something. But, then it's like, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, but the stuff that I do, it's more passion project stuff. So, and it gives me the freedom.
And that's always more self-fulfilling, I think, when you get paid for doing something that you really love to do. Like when I make money on my books. Don't get it twisted though. My books will still be available to anyone who wants them on Amazon and at various comic shops around the nation. So they are available.
Yeah,
both of them.
Well, that's like I was gonna say too. Like, you've inspired me a little bit to kind of get back into that game. I mean, I was I was doing a little bit of consulting there for a while when I first finished up my undergrad, and then I kind of got out of it because I'm doing my graduate classes now. But now that I'm getting, I think I still got like one more year left until I finish up my master's. So I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of pursuing this a little bit more, and just chipping away at the master's program. I'm in no hurry, but it's like, it's just, whenever I finish, I finish. So, but yeah, but but you doing your thing, man, and just like, with your success with the books and stuff, and so it kind of like, rejuvenated, re-inspired me, reinvigorated me to kind of do my own thing. So, so thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, man.
Well, now that we're done sucking each other's dicks,
let's get into it. That's how we do it, baby. Ain't none changed.
Yeah. Dick ain't gonna suck itself.
Pretty much, man. It can suck star leaf blower.
Suck the chrome off a bumper. What do you want to open with? You want to go over Endgame or?
We might as well, man. It's been like forever a day. So we'll go into Endgame, man. Major spoilers ahead, I guess. And also too, if you haven't heard the new word on the streets, as they say, or the Twitter sphere, if they're not really doing a re-release, they're actually adding post-credit scenes to the movie to set up for Phase 4, which apparently there's been like a leak already on Looper, which I just saw before we went on, but it's like speculation, of course. I mean, they don't really know, but yeah. So I mean, we don't have to get into that shit. But there are a couple of scenes that were cut out of the movie. That we already talked about one of them, but they're. I think the reason why they're doing this is because they want to beat Avatar and be the #1 highest grossing box office. Because they're pretty close, man. I mean,
it's absolutely a cash grab. That they could have put this end credit scene in when the movie first came out. It was probably calculated this way, just to make more money, which is what they're supposed to do, is make money. I, for one, will not spend another dime to go see it in the theater. I'll wait till it comes out on 4K and watch it at home. I mean, there's no way that I'm going to plop down more money just for an extra 2 minutes of film time. I'm just not going to do it. No, and people that do that, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, a fool and his money are soon parted, but do what you want to do. I, for one, will not go see a movie for an extra 2 minutes of film time. I just won't do it. One that I've just seen.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
No, it was great. I mean, it was great. I actually cried twice, and I remember you looking at me at the end. Spoilers, when Tony Stark finally died, you were like, "What the fuck? Are you going all bitch on me, man? What the shit?" You're like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I teared up, man. Yeah, I did. Shit.
Yeah, I pulled a Kleenex out of my bra and handed it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. It was very nice. You even patted me on the hand, man, to show you comfort. It was so lovely. We shared a magical moment that night.
Oh, goodness.
We were like,
it was a
combined
great
as
film.
one.
It was riddled with plot holes.
I don't really
especially
see that. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna have to go over this plot holes then. Okay.
Well, for instance,
Okay.
they explained and they kept saying over and over again, you can't change the past because if you do, it creates
An
a
anomaly.
different
Yeah.
future. It creates an offshoot. It creates a parallel universe, which is absolutely what would happen.
Yeah.
So Steve Rogers should not have reappeared as an old man. He would have been part of another parallel universe. He wouldn't have been part of the Marvel universe when he changed history. And
Okay.
where the fuck did he get the shield that was destroyed by Thanos?
He could
I
have.
don't know.
Okay, so the way I look at it, and this is what's fucked up because both the writers and the directors have different opinions on it, right? The writers view it as like, okay, Steve Rogers didn't create a parallel universe, that basically time healed itself. That when, even though he went in the past, spent time with Peggy Carter, probably married her, like when she was in Winter Soldier 2, and she had, supposedly amnesia, like or Alzheimer's, couldn't remember stuff. Maybe she actually was kind of faking it, because she was a spy after all, and maybe she did marry Steve. But the thing is that the younger, she married the older Steve. The younger Steve was still in ice, and then when the younger Steve thaws out, time just kind of collapse on itself, like what they consider to be a super collider. And it's like when Tony Stark said time has a way of correcting itself, like with the whole the Thanos stuff, right? Shit, I'm trying to remember the scene. Because he was talking about like time. That the because if there was an anomaly too, then what the hell happened to Loki, right? Because then that makes a fucking anomaly, where Loki gets the Tesseract, and they go even further back to get the Tesseract, and Loki's going to have his own series on Disney Plus now. But I kind of view it as that, and even if they do make, because you have to understand is that Bruce Banner, he's not, it's a theory, right? Like what they're going off a theory. So what he told the Ancient One was like, hey, if we put this stuff in the right place at the right time, it sounds good. It sounds like, he made a good argument. But even though the argument, it's a good argument, and also too, you have to understand the Ancient One even said that, hey, if Stephen Strange brought you back, he's supposed to be the best of all of us. So that just even then kind of reconfirms and justifies his argument as to, okay, I believe you, right? But it doesn't mean that belief and truth are two different things. Which, I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, you could be right.
It was,
but I don't really see it as a plot hole. I just see it as like, okay,
it was a convenient, lazy way to write something so you could have a sappy, I'm gonna cry ending.
I don't know, man. I don't.
They established rules, and then they established rules, and then they broke the rules just so they could have that. Oh my God, Steve Rogers got with her, which made me tear up, and I thought was cool, but still, it was a plot hole, and that's the problem when you monkey with time and you set up rules. You tend to break those rules for writing's convenience.
Well,
Another problem I had with it was obviously every principal character in the Spider-Man movies must have been ashed because they're all in school again, and it's 5 years later. That would include, Marissa Tomei, Aunt May, and all of his friends. They all had to have been ashed. That is sloppy writing for convenience's sake.
Well, okay, yeah.
Some of
all
those
his
characters
friends,
should have aged 5 years and graduated already.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like apparently they're going to explain that in Spider-Man: Far From Home, right? I mean, like MJ was ashed. Whatchamacallit, his best friend Ned. I'm sorry, I called him Genki. I mean,
Ned,
Genki.
yeah.
I mean, it's a character from the Miles Morales that they took and put it in. But Ned, he was ashed. Probably Flash Thompson was ashed
Ned
too.
Leeds
I mean,
is also Ned Leeds is an old character from Spider-Man, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, really? Okay.
They basically combined two characters. Ned Leeds Ned Leeds was found dead, and I think Spider-Man versus Wolverine.
Oh, really?
Years and years ago, and there was some speculation that he was the Hobgoblin. God, that's old. That's from like the 80s. I haven't read that in years.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ned Leeds was an old character from Spider-Man's past. Apparently, they combined him with this other Miles character.
Genki. Yeah, because Genki is supposed to be his best friend, and he knows his identity and stuff like that. And basically instead of, and that's they just combined the two. It's kind of like what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson, like being Nick Fury. He's Nick Fury from the Ultimate Universe, where they're the Ultimates, not the Avengers, and so it's like they're combining shit, and that's cool. That's fine. Okay, so but I don't really have a problem with that. It's just I look at it like you look at it as a plot hole. I mean, I look at it as like, okay, Far From Home, they actually in the trailers they say that Mysterio is from a parallel universe or one of these that when in it, and they said that, listen, look, it wasn't just from. It's like they said, I believe they say it's when Thanos did the second snap, or it's all these fucking one of the snaps, not the first one. It's just continuous fucking snaps. Basically, it's like have you ever read Age of Ultron, the series?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Remember when Wolverine keeps on fucking going back? He keeps fucking with time. He's breaking time, basically. It's like kind of like what they're doing right with the snaps. It's literally time is an organism, and you keep fucking with it. And that's what people don't understand. It's like the time-space continuum is a living, breathing thing. It's like, but we like to just say that, oh, it's just fucking inorganic. It's a fucking construct. That but it's like, no, man, it's time is time. It's
an abstract. It's an abstract, but it's definitely living. It's not sentient.
We don't know,
but it's living like the Earth. Like the Earth. Like the Earth is a biosphere.
No.
It's a delicate balance. It will fight to protect itself, which is why these weird diseases show up every once in a while to eliminate its biggest threat, which is mankind.
Yeah.
But we tend to be able to, fortunately, combat these diseases. Ebola, if it escaped containment, would ravage the world.
Yeah.
It's a horrible hemorrhagic disease that just kills.
Yeah.
I don't know what the mortality rate is, but it's extremely high. And that, no one had heard of that, 30 years ago, but it just popped up out of nowhere, and 40 years ago, and it just popped up out of nowhere, and we ended up that's just the Earth defending itself.
Well,
you're right. Time is, while it is an abstract, it may or may not be sentient. It is, I'm sure, will protect itself just like every other living organism. And I do believe it's alive. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we're getting way too far in the weeds here.
That's fine. I mean, it's like, yeah, I know it's, but I do believe
I'm
that
about to spark up a joint and start talking about, about
philosophy and shit,
space-time theory.
Well, it's just like, but I mean, I love exploring that topic. It's something that, because I mean, it's based off of theories. I mean, it's not, it is evidence, there is documentation of it, but it's not law though. That's the problem, is that, if something else does it,
Well,
then
quantum
it's
theory is just that. It's theory.
Yeah.
There's really no hard science behind it. I mean, parallel universe theory in the quantum realm is just theory. There's no
many
proof of it. Yeah, but
or like quantum entanglement, that's another one. I mean, it's,
sure is neat to talk about, and contemplate.
But
and it makes for good sci-fi.
Yeah, and I think too, I think a lot of our answers, or a lot of our questions will be answered because they did say, they did confirm that Spider-Man Far From Home is the end of Phase 3, and
okay,
and that they did confirm. So I think a lot of our questions now, whether Mysterio is bullshitting them, I don't really think so, because everyone's saying that Mysterio is probably not from a parallel universe or an alternate dimension or an Elseworlds, if we're gonna go DC. But but Nick Fury is the one who actually says it in the trailer. So if Nick Fury says it, I mean, the motherfucker is S.H.I.E.L.D., for God's sakes. I mean, I don't think, some guy who's prop special effects dude is gonna fucking outwit Nick Fury.
Was S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, was S.H.I.E.L.D. Whatever. I mean, and also too, they're saying that he's going to form the new Avengers, basically, and Spider-Man may be one of those. That's a speculation. I mean, that's what people are kind of running with. I mean, I would love that.
That'd be cool.
And Carol Danvers is probably going to be, lead on it and stuff. So, but that would be cool.
I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, and
I haven't either.
I don't feel like I missed anything. But now that it's out now that it's out on 4K, I'll probably pick it up. There are a lot of people that say it's so. It's an okay filler movie. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't judge it.
Yeah.
I just felt like they kind of shoehorned it in there, and it did really well. But it did really well because people were waiting for Endgame to come out.
Yeah.
And
also too, man,
it got a lot of the Endgame wave.
I think that Carol Danvers is a cool character too. I just don't think that people know how to. The only person who's really wrote her really well is Kelly Sue DeConnick, and she's the one who's writing Aquaman currently. And like what we were talking about off air, I read the 48 and 49 of the new. It's called Mother Shark is the new story arc going on, and and she's really, man, she's her run on Captain Marvel, especially the second volume, because she did 12 issues, and then they stopped it, and then they did fucking what was it, Marvel Now, and then they did it. They started from number 1 again, and she was still on the fucking book, and then they just went into that one. That's where she's more in space and shit, and she's fighting with the Guardians and stuff. And I thought that was really, and that's where she gets the Florkin cat goose. Well, Chewie is what it's named in the comic. And
okay. Well, Carol Danvers has always been an interesting character, all the way back from when she was Miss Marvel. Marvel really never knew what to do with her. They changed her several times. Rogue stole her powers. She became binary. I liked her as binary. I thought she was a great character. I loved her as Warbird. I preferred her as Warbird more than I liked her as Captain Marvel, because she was a character on her own. You know what I mean? When people fill in for other people, that that were heroes before. I think it kind of spits on the hero that existed before. I thought she was amazing as Warbird. Perez and Busick did a fantastic job with her in the Avengers. She was the same, tough as nails, punch you in the face hero as Warbird that she became, or that she was when she became Captain Marvel. There have been so many Captain Marvels that, I guess her taking up the mantle was only natural, but it had been so many years and so many other Marvels had existed that I honestly think that she should have become Captain Marvel after the original Captain Marvel died, instead of waiting so many years and having all these false starts with these lackluster fill-ins. The only one that was really any good, in my opinion, was Monica Rambeau, who was the Captain Marvel, who is now, I think she's Photon now or something like that.
Spectrum.
She's changed several times too. Spectrum. She was amazing. Her run on the Avengers was phenomenal when she first appeared. Unfortunately, she appeared alongside such wonderful characters as Star Fox, the date rapist. But she was amazing. Star Fox, I could have, I thought he was kind of a weird character.
Oh, he's Thanos'
even
brother,
though
right?
he's Thanos' brother, yes. But he was just so odd.
Aeon or some shit like that.
I think it was his fucking hair that really just drove me nuts. He had that weird red Wolverine kind of hair. It was just so odd. Who combs their hair like that? What the fuck is up with Wolverine's head that his hair comes out like that?
Well, apparently, so Wolverine is actually how we're supposed to be like an offshoot of apes, right? If we're going by Charles Darwin, his is more canine. His evolution is canine. That's why he's hairy, shorter, and stuff like that. So
him and Sabretooth both. So that when Wolverine first appeared, they were going to have him be an actual mutated Wolverine.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but they changed that. They put the nix on that. Fortunately, thank God.
Yeah.
Come on. But that would have predated the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so he would have been like the old man ninja Wolverine.
Yeah, he would have been. He could have filled in, man, for he could have doubled down as a ally, or even what is it?
Shit. Did you catch the Batman? Did you catch the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated film?
No, I mean I seen
Dude,
it work.
Phenomenal.
Really,
it's phenomenal. The fight between Shredder and Batman, excellent.
I have the first run, man. I love the comic, man. The comic's so good, dude.
Oh yeah, the comics amazing. It's good to see an animated.
Yeah, I'll probably
see the animated version of it.
Yeah, I'll probably rent it.
You'll like it. Yeah. Or watch it when you're over here.
Oh, okay. Shit, man. Okay. Sounds good, man. But yeah, because I picked up I got, what was it, Avatar: The Last Airbender on Blu-ray. I got Legend, and the whole season's on Blu-ray. Because there's 3 books. There's what is it? Air, Water, and Fire, and then I got Legend of Korra, which is set years and years later, and there's 3 seasons of that. I got the both of them complete on Blu-ray, and recently. But yeah, going back to sorry, we were just talking about
we go on tangents.
Sorry, but no. But going back to Endgame, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. There are plot holes. I mean, what people killing, I can justify them. I'm not saying that I try to find and understand the meaning of it, and I try to look at the rationale and the pragmaticness of it, if that's a word. And just be like, okay, how can realistically this, how can I justify this to where it makes sense in a a rational reasoning and critical thinking way, right?
Yeah.
You know, deduce
Yeah.
the situation. That's how I look at it. I mean, if it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to defend
And
it. It's just those things
that's
where,
that's admirable of you. It really is. But it's a plot hole. I mean, if I have to sit and think, you know, and come up with my own reasoning for this to have happened, for them to have broken the rules that they just set up, it's a plot hole. They fucked up.
I mean, it's like,
They
is
fucked
it?
up and then came back and said, "Wait a minute."
I mean, it could be okay, but look at Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner, he is a specialist in gamma radiation. Tony Stark is a specialist in whatever the fuck he is, machinery, right? You know, tech. I mean,
Engineer,
the
yeah.
smartest person in the fucking Marvel, or two smartest people, is
The MCU.
goddamn Reed Richards and Doctor Doom, and those two are interchangeable. I mean, it depends on who the fuck you talk to.
Yeah.
The third smartest
And they're
is
not,
fucking is
but they're not in
T'Challa.
the MCU.
But T'Challa is even fucking smarter than Tony Stark and fucking what's his nuts, Bruce Banner, and he got ghost or dusted, right? You know, so at least in the comic books, he's supposed to be the third smartest person. Apparently, Shuri's smarter than him in the fucking MCU. I mean, you know, but I mean, it's just, and that's kind of like my gripe is like when you're like, okay, now you're kind of dumbing down this character to raise his sister up. I mean, it's just kind of like, all
Yeah.
right, I'm not saying that Shuri's not a smart person. It's just that, okay, if you're trying to, and I do understand it's like, it's me just being an old curmudgeon, just being like, that's not the way in the comics, you know. But if you're kind of in
And I do that a lot. Like, that's not how it is in the comics.
yeah, I know. Hey, man, I'm a hypocrite. You know, it's like, fuck, man, I'm a hypocrite about a lot of things. You know, and that's just kind of like what one thing I believe in, and one thing I'll be hypocritical about. That's cool. That's fine. You know, I'll have my hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You know about that because
I am all about the canon. I've grown to accept the fact that the MCU will never follow comic book canon.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it will never.
Never. The X-Men movies with Fox, they were so far away from canon, it was pathetic. By the way, Phoenix is being pulled from a ton of theaters.
Oh yeah, you heard
about
about that Dark Phoenix action, right? About how at first it had an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then it got bumped up to 23.
Ooh. Yeah, it's being pulled from a ton of theaters across the nation. It's only been out, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's fucking bad, man. Here.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. They shouldn't have gone over. They should have gone up. They retread over ground that they'd already covered in these films.
Yep.
And X-Men: The Last Stand, which was horrible all by itself.
And Wolverine's magic pants, don't forget that, because everything else was destroyed except for his fucking pants.
Well, you couldn't have the Wolverdork hanging out, because then you'd have the same problem they had in that Batman story.
Oh, you know,
he's not the only thing that's short and hairy. Wolverine's not the only thing that's short and hairy, as Wolverdork is too.
You know, the last Batman Damned came out, right?
What's that?
Batman Damned #3 came out this week.
Oh, did it? Good.
I haven't gone yet, man, to pick my shit up, man. I mean, I'm down for it, so hope to God I have a copy of that.
I hope I do too. I hope I do too. I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. You know, they've been crazy busy trying to prep for RobCon, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they held it for us.
Yeah, I'll probably go.
If they didn't, you know, if they didn't, there's $10 less I have to spend. I'm not gonna complain.
But yeah, but no, man. But at the end of the day, I did like Avengers Endgame. I did like the fact that.
I did too. I really enjoyed it.
I would love.
I really enjoyed it.
I would love if Morgan Pepper Potts and Tony Stark's daughter becomes Ironheart. If like I'm not really
That'd
too.
be cool.
I don't really care about the character of Riri Williams all that much. Just because it's like in the comic book, there was no way, there was nothing to really tie her and Tony as having this mentor relationship. Yeah, there was nothing.
Yeah.
They Brian Michael Bendis shoehorned her in so he could get money, that cheddar for another fucking character that he created. Because if you wanted to actually put a person who actually was a person of color or minority and actually fucking deserved the role, that would have been James Rhodes's niece, who I can't fucking remember, but that would have been a good. But she was in the comics. I mean, that you could have did that, but no, Brian.
Yeah, Iron Man was already a person of color.
What's that?
James Rhodes was Iron Man back in '86.
Well, yeah, he was. Yeah, during during his alcoholism, Demon in a Bottle, and Secret Wars. Yeah,
it's not like they're creating something new here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? they're just rehashing the same old ideas, and just fucking up continuity left and right. I have a feeling Marvel's going to have to do their own Crisis on Infinite Earths soon to straighten out the continuity, because it's been so fucked up.
Well, see, I don't even care about the War of the Realms, man. That's just going on. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, I really don't. I mean, and I love, I love Jason Aaron. I love Russell Dodderman.
I do too.
His art.
I do too.
I love them both, but I really don't fucking care. I don't care that Thor has the arm of the Destroyer in it. The only thing I actually give a shit about is actually the Punisher spinoff. That's actually really good. I actually like it because he's trying to get people in a hospital from New York all the way to New Jersey through the fucking Lincoln Tunnel. And there's like hordes of fucking monsters. I mean, and he also has like prison inmates, helping out too. Ooh. Frank Castle.
I thought Frank Castle was Cosmic Ghost Rider.
He is, but that's Cosmic Ghost Rider from the future.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's like many moons on down, man. I mean, that's like, because that's, remember when Thanos was fighting himself, old Thanos. That's where the Cosmic Ghost Rider comes from. I mean, I know the comic book's out there, man. I have the first issue of Cosmic Ghost Rider, but I haven't been keeping up with it. So, but somebody told me like, yeah, he's supposed to be from the future or some shit, where old Thanos is from. That's why. Like somehow, some way, I don't know if they explain in a comic book, but yeah, Frank Castle gets the powers of fucking Ghost Rider, and which I think is cool. But honestly, I also think he should have been the man on the wall and not Bucky Barnes when Original Sin, when you find out that in Nick Fury becomes the new Watcher, the Unseen. Yeah.
He's so stupid.
Yeah. Well, he's still around too. He's still out there. He's still on the moon. He's still changing the fucking moon. Yep.
I read that and it was so badly written. I was so disappointed in it. I mean, how many billions of people are on the Earth?
What is it, like
4 billion?
Billion, yeah.
And everything in the Marvel universe only centers around these certain people.
Yeah. Sorry. Aggressively relaxing is with us. He says Avengers End, or they say, excuse me. Should not. I need to start playing the pronoun game because I don't know if that's a he or a she. They say Avengers Endgame was incredible. Okay, yeah. Real quick, want to give a shout out to Jason Goldsberry because today is his birthday. So happy birthday, his birthday.
Happy birthday. I love you, man.
Yeah, we love you, bro. Sorry I couldn't be at All-Star Con to meet you in person, man. But hey, thank you so much, man, for supporting us.
He's my heterosexual life mate.
Really? Yes, that's cool, man.
I said it. He's my Booster Gold. I'm his Blue Beetle.
Dude, I would love it, man, if they made a show, man, of that, man, or even like a movie
Dude,
or a series of
so
movies of Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, they could have the other JLA members in there as the backdrop, and you could have all the problems and all the trouble they got into doing dumb shit. Like when they repoed that tank and they left it sitting outside of Barta and Scott Free's house because they went over there for a barbecue, and then the Joker got into it and then blew up Barta and Scott Free's house. And Batman went driving by and saw what was going on, and he just kept going.
So, what do you did you hear about Tom King not being able to finish his run on Batman to 100? It's going to be shut down to 85, and then he's going to do a
hear about that
maxi series called Batman and Catwoman.
I wished I had. I was going to get something signed by him at the show, but I didn't. And I was going to ask him about that. But I didn't. I was more interested in Mike Zeck in getting his signature on something. But
yeah, Mike Zeck's art's really good, man.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah,
I had him sign my Secret. Yeah. I had him sign my Secret Wars #1. He's awesome. Yeah, I don't. Tom King. My personal feelings about Tom King. As a writer, he's a spectacular person. He's a really nice guy. I did talk to him as he was coming into the All-Star Con, and I neglected to ask him. I didn't want to, talk shop with him when he was just getting to the show.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy. I just don't think he's that great of a writer. That's my opinion.
No, I mean, I'm with. Okay, I think there are some things that he's better at, like the Vision run. I'm still pretty confused by Mr. Miracle. Like, I love the first half of it. The second half is like where I'm like, okay, and then the ending, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna have to reread.
The ending was.
I know I'm gonna have to reread it again because apparently I'm too fucking stupid for this book.
Yeah. He tries to do this weird pseudo-intellectual, deep psychological thinking in his writing, and it just doesn't come off well. That was the problem with Heroes in Crisis. It tried to be something it wasn't. It played the Flash or Kid Flash way out of canon. He never would have tried to cover up a crime. Kid Flash, no. Wally West would never try to cover up a crime, ever.
Yeah,
that's just not his character. You've
read the last one, right? #9.
Yeah.
How did you like it? Like
the whole series.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
The whole series was crap.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And the ending was lackluster. I hate to say this. I couldn't wait till the series was over so I could stop spending money on it. The completist in me, because I was 6 issues in before I was like, well, it's only 9 issues. I can get the next 3 issues. I just hope it comes out soon,
Well, that's a beautiful thing said, because I can't wait to stop spending money on the book that we're going to be talking about. Fucking Doomsday Clock.
The best book out there.
Yeah, right. I'm glad.
Currently, the best thing.
I'm glad you have high hopes for this lovely chestnut.
Currently, the best book out there being published by DC. It just has the problem of being super late every freaking.
Yeah, the best book that would have shot off the DC universe into a new fucking trajectory, had they fucking been out on time, had DC not fucking already be beyond the fucking shit. I mean, I'm glad we're finally, after 10 fucking issues, we finally find out what everyone's been goddamn speculating. why Mr. Or Dr. Manhattan's motive, because basically now we get confirmation. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, everyone knew it, god damn it. I mean, except for the metaverse shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's a spectacularly written story. It's beautifully illustrated. My frustration with it is the time between issues.
Yeah.
That's the only problem I have with it. I think it's really well done. I love the homage to the JSA in the last book. It was incredibly well done. Please take that toy away from that dog before I throw it out in the trash.
I thought it was like one of the chickens squeaking, man. I'm sorry. I was like,
oh my god, she's got this new little squeaky toy that she can't tear up. It's the first one we found that she can't tear up. And
that's cool.
She just goes to town on it, and it drives me crazy. She'll do it for an hour. She'll squeak it. I'm like, ah!
Crazy.
She's so funny. She's a great
dog, but for real, man. Like,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, like, okay, I do. It's like what we were talking about, man. You are correct, as in, yes, it is frustratingly bad. The art is phenomenal. I will say that. What's frustratingly just fucking is like nails on a chalkboard for me, man, is just the way the pacing is with the book. It's like, okay, they have done so much padding in that book. Literally, they could have made it 8 issues at this fucking point. Because basically, in the next 2 issues, they're gonna have to wrap up what the hell's going on with Mime and Marionette and the Joker. They're gonna have to wrap up what the hell's going on with the comedian. They're gonna have to wrap up so much fucking shit. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if the other 2 are gonna be like double-sized issues. Yeah. Also, too, what really pisses me off is that if they wanted to be true to the Watchmen platform, they would have made them prestige for the money that we're paying. I mean, it's just some hard fucking cardboard that has staples in it. It's not prestige. There's no fucking spine. I mean, yeah, it's 12 issues. Way to fucking go, Jeff Johns. You know, but it's not prestige format. It's not anything.
Hey, don't you say an unkind word about Jeff Johns. Best comic writer in the last 20 years.
He is, and that's why I said. That's why I'm so disappointed in him. You know, that's why.
The story is great.
The story is great, but it's like, okay, yeah, the story is great. He steps down from his executive position so he could go make fucking movies, man. I mean, it's like,
well, I think that once it all comes out and you do it you do a single read through, you'll really appreciate it.
Of course, yes,
much more so than you do now. But I agree with you. The fact that it takes so long between issues is infuriating. And they're spinning DC off on all these different tangents now. But Doomsday Clock was supposed to set the future of the DC universe.
Yeah, no, and you're right, man. And that's what's like. So, like, I'm in agreement with you, man. As in the point of when it comes out, one fucking volume, just how Secret Wars was. I mean, Secret Wars was bad, and all new, all different Marvel went off with. Fucking just said, okay, hey, if you don't wrap this shit up in 6 months, then fuck you, we're going on because the train's got to run on time. And at the end of that book, I fucking cried because, like, when Doom says to fucking Reed, yeah, you're better than me, I fucked up. And then the Molecule Man hears that and he's like, oh, really? Snaps his fucking finger. And then now Reed Richards and his family are in charge of fucking creating worlds and doing this shit. And creating the all new, all different stuff, and that was beautiful, man. It was a very poignant, beautiful story, and I was like, well, where the fuck were you 6 months ago? But this one, it's like it's going to be 2 years, man, 2 fucking years, and I understand DC cannot wait that long. It's like, you got to piss or get off the. But I will say this: I am glad that Gary Frank is the one doing the art. I'm glad they didn't get in any filler artists. That. I will say, for me, it's its own saving grace.
He's done a fantastic job at emulating Dave Gibbons' style and mixing it with his own.
Yeah, Yes.
He's done a really good job at that. I mean, it has a lot of saving graces. The writing is good. The fact that my two favorite superhero teams are coming back because of this series makes me happy. But where are they going to fit into the DC universe proper?
Yeah, again, man, it's like that's another thing too, where they have to. It's like, okay, you haven't dealt with the JSA problem, or not problem, but like what you just said, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, how does this all fit in? I do like it that, yeah, basically they're saying that, okay, that I love it that, okay, they said that Dr. Manhattan fucked with time or fucked with the DC universe. Basically, what Wally West said in DC Universe Rebirth #1, that he didn't create it, he fucked with it. To me, the button was just kind of like a little sampling, basically to give them more time, which I thought was great. I love those. I love that crossover. I thought it was
It was
awesome.
great. Yeah.
But now it's like we're getting into it, and it's like, okay, what's going on with the fucking new Rorschach, Reggie Long, you know, all these.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell is going on with Ozymandias, Adrian Veidt?
I agree with you.
I mean,
I fear
so much goddamn.
I do fear that they're going to wrap it up in these next two issues, and it's going to leave so many unanswered plot threads.
Yeah.
That'll be disappointing.
Also, too, man, they tried to. Oh, and here's one thing that pissed me off the most is that they tried to shoehorn in Heroes in Crisis and DC Metal into the fucking book, man, because it was running so goddamn late. Because they mentioned both of them in past issues. I can't remember which ones, but they sure as fuck mentioned Heroes in Crisis. I remember that shit. And I remember somebody doing a fucking article on it, and I read it, and I was like, yeah, this is bullshit.
Two crappy series, by the way, in my opinion. I didn't like either one of them. I thought Metal, both of them, took characters way off canon. I didn't like either one of them.
I will agree with half of you.
And you'll never see me coming. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, I will agree.
Let's do my Mandarin.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. From Iron Man 3. No, I agree with you. Okay, half of DC Metal was bad. Now the single issues with like Dawnbreaker with.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. With the Merciless, with was it the Aquaman version or Aquawoman version of Bryce Wayne, all those, like the Red Death. I thought like cool.
Yeah.
All the individual ones, stories like the one-offs, I thought were great. You know,
they were good.
Yeah,
they were good. The main story was horrible.
Yeah.
The spinoffs were fun.
Yeah.
The spinoffs. I love alternate versions of characters. You know, alternate universe versions of characters, and I loved what they did with the spinoffs. I thought they were fantastic, but the main line was horrible. You know, and I read, you know, the Batman Who Laughs, which, you know, launched after that series.
Oh, yeah.
That series that launched after that. I read 2 issues and dropped it. I was like, it's not good. And it's a horrible play on words. I don't know if you're familiar with The Man Who Laughs.
Yeah. It's an old side movie. Yeah, that's where the inspiration from the Joker came from. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, the inspiration for the Joker. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. It's fucked up.
It's a little too, you know. It's a little too, you know. It's a hat on a hat. I mean, it's kind of, you know, Batman Who Laughs. What? Why? You know, why?
Well, I mean, I should say this, man. I want to redact my statement because I said it was shit. It's not shit. It's just not for me. And because it is written by Scott Snyder, and he is a phenomenal writer. He is a great writer, and I'm not going to.
No, he's a fantastic writer. I think that he didn't do a good job on the execution of this particular story. I like his work.
Agree that. Yeah.
I like his work. What's the new book now? The new Black
Batman.
Yeah, that's interesting. I read the first issue of that.
Did you really? Yeah, because like
Yeah.
I want to read it. It looks really fucking cool, man. Because basically, I was talking with a buddy of ours, um,
Yeah.
that we know, and he was saying that basically Scott Snyder was in an interview and he said that, listen, look, uh, there's two books that Scott Snyder wanted to do. He talked with Grant Morrison, and basically Grant Morrison was like, hey man, you know, because there was two stories that he wanted to get out, and he said that the Grim Knight, that one, I have that book actually. I have the variant cover. It's fucking phenomenal. The one where he's all decked out in the guns and shit, looking like fucking Clint Eastwood, fucking
Yeah.
about to go to fucking Heartbreak Ridge, kick some ass. He said that was one of the ones that he wanted to do, and then the last night, Batman, Last Night on Earth, is like his final Batman story, right? That's basically that this one that he's doing right now with Greg Capullo is basically, I guess, his magnum opus, I guess, for Batman. Like he said, he'll still do Batman stories, but that's the ultimate. That's how it ends. Is basically how Batman and his Batman ends. That's his final story, kind of like Dark Knight Returns for Frank Miller, or at least how it was. And then he did Dark Knight Strikes Again and Batman 3, The Master Race, and all this shit. But yeah,
I read it. I think the only issue I have with it is that it is a little muddled in the beginning.
okay.
It takes a bit to figure out what the hell's going on. But once I did, I really dug it. It almost seemed a little rushed. But then again, what is it? It's 3 issues, right?
Yeah, and I don't mean to cut you off. Like Greg Capullo even said that he doesn't know if he's going to be able to draw the second one. Just a little.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he said
It seemed a little rushed. The story pacing was a little logy, but I liked it. I liked the idea behind it. I'm still trying to figure out why the Joker head is alive in it, but hey, maybe they'll explain that later.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty cool, man. I know, man, there was something that because I've seen the ending, like the splash page at the end, and I can't remember what the fuck it is. But and that's what kind of got me intrigued about it in the first fucking place. And I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, I really do want to read that at some point. But yeah, I'm not really. I mean, it's like one of those things. I would rather spend money on, even though it seems like a good premise, even though it's Scott Snyder's last Batman story. I would rather spend money on like a thing like Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, right, or the Green Lantern, excuse me, Liam Sharp and Grant Morrison, or Aquaman, which is really good stories, but they don't get a lot of love. You know, Batman don't need my money. Batman's doing fucking good on his own. You know.
Yeah, he's doing just fine. And you know how I feel about Morrison in his work. But I am really impressed with what he's done on the Green Lantern. He's breathed a nice, fresh, new life into it. The latest issue brought Green Arrow back into the fold for one issue, and it was neat to see them team up again, and the way they pal around and talk to each other, and it was a great kind of buddy cop issue. I think you'll really enjoy it.
But did it remind you of like of the Neil Adams stuff?
Very similar. Very similar. And I think you'll enjoy it. Unfortunately, it's a one-off. I wish that they would do another, you know, especially now, another cross-country run looking at the injustices that are going on in this nation. And I think there would be a kind of a stark realization that they really haven't changed.
Really?
From the run on the 70s. They're the same. We have the same issues. We have the same race issues. We have the same class issues. We have the same problems, with the haves and the haves not and the have nots, and that is what that original O'Neill and Adams run addressed. And I think it would be really cool for them to do another run like that, just to show that things are exactly the same as they were back in 1973.
Okay.
Things haven't changed. We like to think they have, but they haven't. There's still the same group of people that keep getting richer and the same group of people that keep getting poorer. And guess which group we're in?
Yeah, man. We just on that hustle, man. That's what we on. I mean, it would be like, to me, since the Green Arrow, the book, it ended at issue 50. Maybe what Grant Morrison is setting up, maybe it's just a little taste, right, of maybe a future story arc in the Green Lantern.
Nice.
It's like, you give the first one's free, is baby. It's like, well, I mean, it's not free, but here's a little sample, a little taste, and then maybe
I don't think Morrison is the writer to handle a series like that. And I'm going to sound really bad here, but he's English, and I think that an American writer needs to tackle a uniquely American issue.
Yeah. Well,
maybe it would be neat to see an outsider's take on it.
Yeah.
But we got enough of that with Judge Dredd.
Well, that's where I was. That's why I was just saying, like, just do it as like a story arc within the Green Lantern, not as like a full blown spinoff. But yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing too, is that and that's what I was going to bring up too, like the whole 20,000 or 20. What the hell's the book? 2000 AD. Is that right? 2000 AD.
Yeah, 2000 AD.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, I kept on wanting to say 20,000. 2000. Yeah, and that's just, to me, it's like a social commentary, man, of like of fucking people who lost the Great War talking about us and shit, and just like having a good old joke, fucking with their like tea and biscuit, and like, look at the dumb Americans, Yeah,
they're having a pit. They're enjoying themselves, and they're poking fun at us. And that's fine, and it's great. They're great stories, They're obviously parodies, and there's a lot of tongue in cheek. And I think that a lot of what people missed, unfortunately, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here. I love the original Judge Dredd movie with Stallone in it. I thought it was great. It was tongue in cheek, and it felt just like the comic book did at the time. The only issue was that they made him take his helmet off so they could show it was Stallone.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was great. I mean, it was very much an old school 80s Dredd story. I love the new Dredd movie.
Yeah, I love the new Dredd. New Dredd's fucking phenomenal, man.
And it kind of covered the other side of Dredd, that darker side of the Dredd stories. But I think that the people who didn't like the Stallone Judge Dredd movie were missing the point of the entire series in the first place. It was all tongue in cheek, except for the super dark stuff that they did.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's like we ripped about this before. I mean, Brian Bolin cut his teeth on Judge Dredd. I mean, so many Mark Miller, from Kick-Ass fame. Yeah, Morrison. I mean, Alan Moore. So many of the British invasion of comic book writers.
Yeah, the British invasion in the 80s, in the late 80s. The guys who came over to write Vertigo books were the guys who were writing on Dredd at one point, or doing art, or
Yeah, and
those guys. What else were they going to pull from?
Yeah.
What else were they going to pull? Well, if they're pulling for comic talent from Britain at the time, almost all of them were writing for 2008.
Yeah. And the other too, man, was like very clean. It looked great. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and that's like, I'm not trying to put down the writers or stuff like that, because I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, because if you look at fucking the shit that was back then, and you look at some of the shit that they were writing about now, like, I mean, like they were saying that in America, like at that time, obesity in the comic book, obesity was against the law, or being fat was against the law.
Yeah.
And now you see like
They had a whole series
5%.
called Fatties.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and now you see like 75% of Americans are fucking obese or overweight.
Obese. Yeah.
Fucking, it's like, damn, dude, they totally called that shit. You know.
And what was great about 2000 AD was it was a weekly book, and it still is.
Was it really? I see. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was a week.
Still is to this day. If you sign up for 2000 AD, they call them progs instead of issues. You'll get a prog every week program. Prog. Okay. You'll get an issue every single week of the month if you sign up for it now, because they do it weekly. It's like the funny pages, you know.
Yeah.
You get it on Sunday. You get it every week.
That's pretty cool, man. I never knew that.
Always, it's good stuff.
Well, see, the only reason why I know about 2000 AD is because my old comic shop that I used to go to, or one of them back in the day, Acme Comics, Toys and Collectibles, they actually had a lot of the old like stuff that was like imported from the UK, the 2000 AD books. And so, I mean, you know, they sold them at a higher price, but I mean, you know, they were bagged and boarded and shit, but they didn't mind if you like looked through them, you know, and to see if you
were
actually
bigger.
wanted to buy them.
They were tabloid-sized books, and they were all on newsprint.
Yep,
covers and everything, newsprint. Now, though, and you only had a few pages of cover. Now, the issues, because I was getting it there for a while a few years ago, they have glossy covers and everything like a real magazine.
Really?
But the old, I picked up from Remington. I picked up, I want to say 7 or 8 issues of the of 2000 AD from 1986 that are all on newsprint and stuff. They're really fun.
Really? Pretty good condition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look like new.
Really? Damn.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If he has any more of them, I'm gonna buy them too, because I love them. I just love.
Yeah, I know, man.
Love Dread.
It's such, yeah, I do too, man. Like
the other stories are fun too, you know.
Speaking of, like, okay, so have you ever, because we're kind of going in like a dystopian future vibe, have you ever seen the movie Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Or read the short story by William Gibson?
I never read the short story, but I saw the film. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I saw it back in the day. I used to own it on VHS back in the day. I don't have the VHS no more, but I found a Mr. Case for $3. And I got it on DVD. I watched it the other night, and my God, is that a bad fucking movie? But I love it so much. It's like, and dude, I forgot that Dolph Lundgren was in it, bro. He's like, "Halt, sinners!" and he run his ass over.
I mean, I love good bad, good bad movies, especially good bad dystopian future movies and post-apocalyptic films, like A Boy and His Dog.
Yeah, that's a great one. I actually like that. Yeah, Don Johnson.
Cherry 2000, The Postman, Waterworld.
Waterworld was good too.
Yeah. I read The Postman, the novella, years ago, and when they made a film of it, I was super surprised. And I thought the film was excellent, but it got panned by the critics, man.
I guess they just don't like. They just didn't like that cameo by Tom Petty, man. That ruined it. That is, Tom Petty.
That's what ruined it.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Because it's like, now you're dating it. Nope, Tom Petty. Fuck this. It was great up until the Petty, and we're not talking about Richard.
I like that. I like Tank Girl, which is a great comic, and the movie is fun as shit.
Yeah, Lori Petty.
And of course, Mad Max, Road Warrior, Beyond. And I love the Mad Max films. Right, yeah, any of that post-apocalyptic stuff is awesome. Just love it. Love it.
Yeah, man. So I was watching Giant, and it's just like the movie, like watching on DVD. I don't know. I just maybe it's like it looked like it was shot. Like the first half of it looks like it's shot like how they do daytime soap operas, where that type of camera where it doesn't have that movie magic feel. There's not that filter on it, so everything just looks live and really inspired. And I'm just like, God damn, man, this is kind of bad. And it's like, and then he has like that one lady who's supposed to be his bodyguard, who all of a sudden at the end kind of kisses him, and it's like, bitch, you don't even know this guy, and you starting to fucking make out with him. It's like, and then Ice-T playing goddamn Ice-T. All right, like this guy, you know, even fucking. Even when he's in SVU, this motherfucker plays Ice-T. When he's in 3,000 Miles to Graceland, you know, going on a fucking bungee cord, doing some fucking acrobatic shit with some Uzis, this motherfucker is playing Ice-T. When he's in Surviving the Fucking Game with Rutger Hauer, he is motherfucking Ice-T. All right?
Yeah. When he's in Tank Girl.
I love it, you know. Was he in Tank Girl, really?
Yeah, he was one of the kangaroo people. He was the leader of the kangaroo. Yeah, the kangaroo soldiers.
Fucking T, wasn't he?
He was Ice-T with kangaroo ears and a tail.
Jesus God. Oh, God damn. See, I don't even remember that shit, man. But I'm gonna have to watch Tank Girl now again because motherfucking Ice,
fun, man.
But yeah, I
it's so fun. And I love Lori Petty. I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah, I loved her in Point Break, man. I love that movie, man. Point Break is like that's the original Fast and the Furious, man.
Yeah, she was great in Orange is the New Black. She's Orange is the New Black.
I've never seen Netflix. I know what it is. Yeah, I didn't know that she was in it though.
It's really good. Yeah, she's Point Break. My God, I can't. Did you see the remake of that?
No, because when I was like, listen, look, man, no, only Keanu can play Johnny Utah, and only Patrick Swayze can play Bodhisattva. Okay, I don't give a fuck about these other two losers. Okay, it's like, and also too, Catherine Bigelow was the director of it. For God's sake, you can't fucking no, you just never have touched it.
Unrecognizable as Point Break. It's Point Break in name only. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awful. I mean, dude, they spent they blew so much money on that shit. I mean, they blew like $200 million or $250 million. Like the budget was astronomical because they kept on going around the globe and shit to do all these fucking stunts and all this crap. It's like, god damn, man. I mean, also too, the original Point Break has Gary motherfucking Busey, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Pre-motorcycle accident.
Yeah, yeah. Utah, two chili dogs. You know, it's like, you know,
two chili dogs.
Two chili dogs. I mean, I love that shit. I love, dude. God damn, Gary Busey's the man, dude.
I love him. That, and I love Silver Bullet. I just think I love Gary Busey. I think he was great. He's a good actor too. His son.
I loved him in Predator 2, man. I thought he was fucking phenomenal in Predator 2. I mean, everyone shits on Predator 2. Him and Danny Glover, man. I thought they were great.
That movie was so awful, man.
I loved it, man. Hey, man, I love the beginning when he fucked up that Jamaican dude and he strips him and fucking leaves him hanging for the cops and shit. Like
you can do this strip naked.
Oh yeah, you know.
I didn't like.
I love that big dark tenderized meat. You know me, man. You know, the blacker the better, man.
He was jerked.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jamaican jerk. Yep. After Predator was done with him. Man. That franchise took a dive, didn't it? A nosedive.
Well, okay. Well, oh yeah, because
Predators
have you seen The Predator?
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
Me neither, man. No. But I heard it sucked. And it's by Shane Black, man, who wrote the original Predator. Now, I do like Predators. I like that. I like Robert Rodriguez. I like that one with Lawrence Fishburne.
With Adrian Brody.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite character is Hanzo, bro, because he takes down a fucking Predator by himself. with the fucking katana blade, man. I mean, I love like you have that cinematic standoff. I mean, it was like something out of Seven Samurai type shit, man. Like some Kurosawa shit.
And it was excellent because they really did a good job with Foreman from that 70s show, Topher Grace.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as a
why am I here, why am I here? Doesn't make sense, and then it turns out he's a serial killer. It was excellent. It was really well done. I loved it. And it was neat seeing it on another planet and seeing the predators hunt, and
and also too, I love how. Whoa, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
And their rituals and stuff. That was just battling on.
Yeah,
no. To do.
But also too, man, it's like what I liked about it is that the CIA agent, the lady, she actually makes reference to Dutch, him being the lone survivor and him going fucking wacko, when he's interviewed and shit,
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it because Robert Rodriguez actually. Yeah, get his job out. It's like, oh my god, dude. I have that one on Blu-ray. I just picked up the original, talking about fucking dystopian futures, the original Terminator, man. I picked up on Blu-ray. I do too, man.
So good.
Have you seen the I'm looking forward, man, to Dark Fate, man. The new Terminator one with James Cameron and Tim Miller. He's the guy who did Deadpool, the first, and he's also in charge of Blur. Studios.
Yeah, it looks
animated
because what's her name's in it?
Linda Hamilton, man.
Yeah, she's back, and she looks jacked, dude.
I know, bro. For like fucking
yeah.
Jesus Christ,
looks like she can bench press a Volkswagen.
Man, I get that, man. Like, man. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. Because she
looked good. I saw the.
She whips out that bazooka, man, the fucking AT-4, man, fucking.
Yeah. I think we saw that preview together, didn't we? Didn't they show that on Endgame?
Yeah, yes, because that's when Diego Luna is the new Terminator. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he's driving the truck, and also too, what's her name, Mackenzie Davis. She's also like half Terminator, half human. I like how they're doing it. They're saying, hey, fuck Terminator Salvation, fuck all this shit, fuck Terminator 3. This is a continuation of 2. So Judgment Day. And that's how I like that they're just like, listen, look, these two were a goddamn fever dream. Don't even fucking worry about that shit. This is the timeline.
Yeah.
And that's how they should fucking do it, man. It's like, yeah.
I like that. I like that John Carpenter did that with Halloween.
Yes.
He was like, all right, forget everything that happened after Halloween. Here's your sequel.
Yeah.
And it was
Halloween
excellent.
2 doesn't even factor in it. It's fucking, this is just, original Halloween, then the new one,
Yep. It was well done. Although I did really like Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Did you really?
The first Rob Zombie 2 or Halloween 2 was horrible. The one that he did with that weird metaphysical shit that happened at the end with the dude's mom. I'm like, no. But the one that he did with
Danny Trejo.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Danny Trejo, and the great cast in that one. And of course, all the dudes he uses in all of his films are in that movie.
Yeah. He has his wife Sherry Moon as like the mom.
Yeah, she's in
like,
everything.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know.
Dude,
it's like
wouldn't work if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, I'm mixed about Rob's. I like his music better than his directing. I think he's a director because of his name,
love it
because he's known. It's not like,
Oh yeah, but he has a unique look. He has a big love of 70s horror films.
Yeah.
And he has a great eye for it. I loved House of a Thousand Corpses. I thought Devil's Rejects was an incredible throwback to that whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel. I'm looking forward to 3 from Hell, which is coming out soon. I like Lords of Salem. I did not like El Super Beasto. I just didn't get it. What was the one? 31 was just killing for the sake of killing.
I saw the poster for that. I wasn't my cup of tea.
I saw it and I didn't buy it. So that says something for it. I was like, nah, I'm not buying it. Wasn't that good. It just seemed like he just needed to make some cash so he could do this next film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to poo-poo on the man. It's just like I did like a House of a Thousand. I did, or shit on the man. Yeah, I did like House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't lie about that one. I did like some of Halloween the remake. I like it that, but then or his version, he's like this entity that's just evil, evil incarnate. I kind of like that. Taylor Mane was the one who actually played Michael Myers in those two. The guy from who played Sabretooth in the original X-Men.
Yep.
He was also at RockCon, not last year, but year before last.
Yeah, I missed him.
Yeah, I did too. Don't feel
that
too
was
bad.
Last year, wasn't it?
Oh, I mean, apparently it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It was a lot of hubbub, and I'll tell you off air, man, if you really want to know. But yeah, okay. I was like, no, thank you, Tyler Mane. I will not give you a goddamn fist pump for $50. You can go fuck yourself. So.
Suck it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll spend my money on Batman books. How about that, baby?
Yeah, no kidding.
Because Batman sure don't mean my fucking money, but I don't need to give you a fist pump for $50. Hell no, bitch.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
But yeah,
at All-Star Con, I did, man. You know how I'm trying to pick up all the JSA crossover books from the original JLA run. I made a huge dent in that, so I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. What is that one actor's name?
Oh, since I've been on this sabbatical of fucking internet detox, I did go out and see Detective Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
I gotta tell you, man, I fucking thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I really did.
Did you?
I did. I swear to God, man. I went to the Reel to Reel, paid fucking $4 for it. I thought it would be kind of weird because fucking older gentlemen like myself being around fucking all these children. It's like, what the hell is this weirdo doing? It's like by himself.
Did you wear a raincoat?
What?
Just a yellow slicker. Just go in there with a yellow.
I wore my yellow hat. I was like the man with the yellow hat. Yeah, that's what I. Fucking looking for Curious George, of course.
Looking for your new Curious George.
No, but it was kind of cool, man, because I wasn't the only fucking adult in there, man. I mean, there was like, there was like children in there too, a lot of them. Yeah. there was the kids running around with their stuffed animals and shit, their Pikachus and fucking Bulbasaurs and all that crap.
Pokemon's been around for so long. My son is a fan of Pokemon. My son is 28 years old now. When he was a kid, he loved Pokemon. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went and saw that movie.
Yeah.
So I mean you're gonna have adults that go see a movie like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there was like people from look like college people because one of them was wearing an ETSU shirt, so it was kind of cool that to see people like more my fucking age and yeah, it's just you have to understand, like when I was in high school or about to graduate high school, fucking Pokemon just came out, man. I mean, it was a thing. I was like with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z shit. I mean. So that's a little bit after my time. So I mean, I was already. Yeah. I mean, Robotech is more my speed. So,
like with me, like Transformers and GI Joe.
Yeah,
that was out that was coming out when I was a junior and senior in high school. So it's a little after my time, but I still went and saw the films because I remember seeing the cartoons on TV.
Yeah.
But I had no interest in seeing Power Rangers or Pokemon movies because that's way after my time. That's stuff my kids like. Not that I wouldn't enjoy them. I'm sure I would enjoy them, but I was never a Power Rangers fan. I always thought it was cheap and hokey and looked like an old Godzilla flick. I just didn't.
Well, that's why I got into Power Rangers a little bit, but I always liked the character of Tommy. Oh shit, I can't.
Oh, the Green Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't care for him being the White Ranger, White Tiger Zord boat. No. You know,
You liked him when he was the Green Ranger.
Green Ranger,
He's the
all the way,
badass
man, Zord, baby. You know, yeah, with the fucking flute. You know,
I liked him too. I didn't watch a lot of it, but when my kids were watching, I was like, "This dude's cool. He's got long hair."
Yeah, Jason David Frank, man, and I, you know, yeah, I mean, fuck, man, I've met the dude, and everyone says he's a dick, and I'm like, no, man, he's pretty fucking cool, man. It's like, you know, he gave me a fist bump and didn't even charge me for it, man. So it's like, that's great.
You know, the union's going to get on him for that.
What? Yeah, probably. You know, oh, I just ratted out Davis Frank. Oh shit, watch out, world.
Be like, the Screen Actors Guild gonna be like, I heard you gave someone a fist bump and didn't charge him $20.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
Fine him $50 or something like that. What I wanted to mention was, do you know this? Remember the scene? Let's go back to Halloween.
Yeah.
The scene where Ken Fiore and Taylor Maine were going at it in the bathroom stall.
Yeah.
They broke the bathroom stall down.
Yeah, like when he. Yeah, okay, yes.
That was a real stall, and they actually broke it down because neither one of them would give the other one the upper hand. They were actually tussling.
Oh, that's very good,
really
man.
Wrestling, and they destroyed that thing. Ken Fiore is a huge horror movie actor. He was in the original Dawn of the Dead.
Was he really?
Yeah, and he's in all of Rob Zombie's films. Sid Haig, the guy who plays the clown.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell's his name on the movie? Well, he's in a ton of old.
The kind of fat, overweight dude, kind of bald.
Yeah.
Or
Don't
bald.
you like clowns?
Yeah.
He's in a ton of old low budget horror films as well.
Really?
So Rob Zombie really did a good job of finding these old horror guys that needed work that people would recognize, and he throws them in all of his films. Well, so I'm sure that they're happy for work, and they're decent actors. So it's good to see him again.
Well, yeah, I mean that's nice that you know he pays respect, you know, and honestly is like giving them work and stuff, you know, paying respect, but also too, it's like, hey, man, that's like, you know, if you want to work, by all means, you know, you collect a paycheck, you know, and what's up?
And he keeps giving what's his name work. You mentioned him earlier. Machete.
Oh, Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo. I love him, man. I think he's.
Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah. Dude, before I knew his name, dude, I just knew him as the Mexican, bro. You know, that's what I called him because whenever I saw him, I just knew him as the Mexican because I seen him in fucking, what was it, Desperado. And then he was in Spy Kids as the fucking, as their uncle. He's playing, he's the fucking chimpanzee and the monkey in the new Dora fucking movie that's coming out, the live action.
What was the uncle's name in Spy Kids?
I can't fucking remember. Probably Uncle Danny. I mean, yeah, probably Machete. You know, Uncle Machete.
It was the same universe. It's a shared universe.
Is it really? No shit.
It's the same yeah, no shit. It's the same character as the Machete from that Grindhouse film they made. Yeah.
Yeah, they made two of them bitches, and was it Carlos Sheen or Carlos Estevez? That's what he's known as in Machete too, because they say and Carlos Estevez as the president or some shit.
I love those movies. I like grindhouse films, you know, the
Yeah.
cheap drive-in fare, and those movies are just so fun. The new movies that are made to look like grindhouse films are great.
I mean, I liked what the fuck was the one with Planet Terror, and then there was the one because I believe that
And they were called Grindhouse. It was
yeah, there
Planet
was
Terror and
and, the one with the machine gun lady, Rose McGowan. She had the gun on the light gun.
yeah,
Fuck, I can't remember
which
what's
I
it
didn't
called.
get.
Yeah, I like Planet Terror because Planet Terror has stuntman Jack, right? Kurt Russell's character,
Yeah,
where he's like,
yeah, that was fun.
yeah, I like that movie because that was Quentin Tarantino, and then the other one was Robert Rodriguez, the one that we can't remember the name of.
And what's great about them is they really capture the feel. When I was a kid, my dad would take me to grindhouse movies at the drive-in.
Oh, really?
We would watch double feature, shitty, cheap ass movies that, no dad should have taken their kid to see. I mean, full of breasts and murder and weapons and
Tits and ass.
just and horrible acting and really bad streak lines in the film. Just really just horrible.
Well, my father took me
Looked
to see
like someone made it.
Shaft, so
Did he?
yeah.
Took you to see Shaft?
No, he didn't. He didn't. But he
Oh,
did
I
take me
thought
to
you
see
were saying that
Blackula.
he took you.
I did. I was joking. It was a gist. I said my father took me to see Blackula and Shaft. So, yeah.
Oh, dude, Blackula's great. Have
I
you
know
seen that
it
movie?
is. It is. I mean, yeah, I did. He did see.
It's
I did
one of
see
the
that
better
one. But
Dracula movies.
yeah, it's like, was it Fred Williamson is like Blackula, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's a great. It's a really well done film. It's surprisingly good for a blaxploitation film because
Yeah.
at the time blaxploitation films were filmed a lot like the grindhouse movies. As a matter of fact, a lot of the blaxploitation films were grindhouse movies.
Were they really?
Dolomite and stuff like that. And Blackula was excellent. It was well written. It was well acted. The sets were fantastic. On the other hand, Blackenstein was a piece of shit.
So I never seen that one.
It's just.
I remember watching Superfly, man. Like, I actually like that movie, Superfly, man. It's fucking good.
It's a good movie.
I know, dude. And see, like, I remember watching that shit when I was a kid, and I loved the fucking soundtrack, Curtis Mayfield, man. Like doing it. God damn, man. I mean, I love that soundtrack, dude.
The blaxploitation films were fantastic movies, and I think like Quentin Tarantino has the same kind of fond memories of them as I do. I mean, he really seems to love them, and they really capture a time and a flavor that just is really close to my heart because my dad was still around and I was a kid and we used to go to drive-ins and watch these movies all the time and stuff. And it really made me like Luke Cage when he first appeared and when I first saw him in comic books. I was like, this guy's awesome. He was basically a blaxploitation movie character that they made into a superhero. And Marvel at that time, blaxploitation films were huge and kung fu movies were big. And that's when Luke Cage came out, and that's when you saw Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, however you want to pronounce it, and Iron Fist hit the scene as well, all around the same time, because Marvel has done nothing better than steal other ideas and make them their own.
Did you hear about them making the Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu the movie for Phase 4?
No.
Yeah.
I am in.
Yeah.
I am in. I hope
to God they get. Did you ever see the first season of Iron Fist?
I did.
Okay. Do you remember when he fight? I think it was like episode 7 when he goes to China and he fights the drunken master dude or the drunken style fighting. Yeah. That's James Tang.
Yeah.
He actually auditioned to be Danny Rand. Because he's half Chinese, half European, like Caucasian European, and I think his father is like English or something, Australian or whatever, but his mother's Chinese. And the thing is that they didn't go with him. You know, they went with the traditional blonde hair, blue eyed. But I would love to have him as Shang-Chi because I think that he would fucking nail it, man. Like if they're like, hey, you know, fucking you know, fucking whatchamacallit didn't work out, would you like a shot at Shang-Chi? I think he would fucking knock it out the park,
man. I had heard inklings of a Shang-Chi movie being done, but I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. I did see people kicking around the name Donnie Yen to play Shang-Chi, but I think he's too old.
Yeah, he's in his 50s, man. He's like 55, bro.
He's too old to play the character. You know, you can see it on his face. I mean, he's just, I mean, he's still a great martial artist, but he's too old to play that character.
Yeah, that's like James Tan. I believe he is either early 30s or like mid 30s. But still, man, I mean, he could fucking do it, man. I mean,
he could probably play younger. And I think in your 30s you can play, you know, 25 to 28, depending on how young you look. But in your 50s, there's no way you're going to pull it off.
No,
it's just not going to happen. You know, that's like having the current Chuck Norris play the young Chuck Norris.
Yeah, well, that's why Jet Li, man, Jet Li. I mean, a lot of people didn't understand. Like when he was in Lethal Weapon 4, when he made his first debut in American cinema, the guy was in his fucking 40s, man, or like late 30s. Yeah. I mean, the guy was fucking, you know, getting to that point where he was getting up there because he had been doing Chinese cinema forever, you know, and then he did movies like The One, The War, all the other, you know, all the other American movies. But it's like,
Chow Yun Fat. He had done Chinese theater for many years. Jackie Chan was very lucky.
Yes,
to have done here in America as a young man when he got a role in Cannonball Run. That really opened up Americans' eyes to his acting ability, and he was. But it still took a lot of years for him to catch on here in America, even though he had been in Cannonball Run. You didn't see him again until late 80s, early 90s in films here in America.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I remember like fucking Rumble in the Bronx, man. I remember going to the movie theater. That was like, you know, seeing that shit, and that's like when he like really took off, man. Like that after that movie, that his trajectory, and that was like early, like we just said, early fucking 90s, man. But yeah, dude, I love Jackie Chan, especially like watching the older stuff because he even said like, listen, look, I never tried to copy. You know, I'm more traditional Wing Chun Kung Fu. Kind of like what Bruce Lee started out with, and he went to Jeet Kune Do doing his own shit. But whenever Bruce kicked high, I kicked low. You know, if he did a side kick or a spinning kick, you know, I did. You know, I did not want people to compare me to Bruce. You know, Bruce Lee. You know, and I wanted our style to be totally fucking different. You know?
His own niche.
Yeah.
In martial arts theater, I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah, and also too, he's a very he's a very, very I mean, Bruce Lee is a very, or was, I should say, I don't want to say stoic dude, but he was just very rigid and very kind of like more methodical. Where Jackie Chan is just more charismatic. He just has that pop, you know. It's just.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that Bruce Lee wasn't charismatic in like Enter the Dragon or like the Chinese Connection or anything like that, or Game of Death. It's just it's that
I think that personally, and I get what you're saying. I think that personally, he came off as a bit aloof.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Jackie Chan seems a lot more personable.
Yes.
You know,
like you could actually have a fucking beer with Jackie Chan. You'd be like, "Yo, Jack, what's up, man? Let me buy you a drink." You know.
Yeah. You could laugh with him. He'd tell you a joke or something. You know, I just can't see Bruce Lee telling you a joke.
It's like that motherfucker show up to work. He goes to work, goes back with his fucking wife. You know, plays with his kids and shit.
Yeah.
And then and that's just you know, I could see him do that. Like we're just like when he's at work, he's at work. When he's off, he's fucking doing family shit. I mean, that's just that's cool. That's totally fine.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But it's an apt observation, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I am going to have to
yeah, we got to start winding this way
call
out.
it a night.
Yeah, I mean it's almost 8. Sorry, man. I know you said you could only do it for. Don't feel bad.
You know what?
I got 51 more minutes out of Chris. So.
I got to shove some food down my gullet and
Okay.
get back to work, clean this place up so that you can come to a nice house on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, man.
If you make it, I hope you make it.
Yeah, I hope I do too, man. Yeah, I got to check my schedule. I think I am off Wednesday. I just need to double check because sometimes, man, I get because because it's this next week, right? Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, man, dude. That's like see, I've been off for 3 days, so it's like it's like when I have like I've only had this long a break. This is like the first long break I've had. And so it's like shit, man, because I'm just so used to day in, day out. Yeah, it's nice just to kind of futz around. So
yeah, that's always good.
But yeah, man, yeah, like I said, man, I will probably get with you in a couple of days, man, to figure out the details and stuff like that, whether or not I can make it or not. If I can, totally. Thank you so much for the invite. And
you're always welcome at my home.
Do you need me to bring anything if I can come?
Just a diaper. No.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
And a bottle. No, no, not really. Whatever soda or tea you like to drink.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that everyone else will be, drinking their own beverages and doing their own thing. Right. But yeah, I'll try to have some. You like unsweetened iced tea, right?
Yeah, I do.
I'll get some of that. I'll make sure I have some of that here. So
okay, cool,
you don't have to bring anything.
Is it all right if I bring a guest, Mr. Watson?
Yeah.
I'll bring his crate just in case he.
Oh, bring him on over. Okay. Sapphire and him will run the yard, go crazy.
Okay. All right. All right. With that being said, folks, we're gonna start winding it down. I know Chris has to go. I don't want to keep my man too much longer. But yes, thank you everybody so much. Aggressively relaxing. Thank you so much for being in the chat with us. Talking. And everyone else in the YouTubes. Yes, we're back. We're finally back, and we're gonna try to keep on doing this weekly or bi-weekly or whenever we can do it. Hopefully weekly. We can get back on a schedule again. And yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying with us and, keeping the channel alive and all that jazz. And thank you, Chris, for not fucking hating my guts for being off the interwebs for so long.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
But yeah, and what's up?
Hang loose, baby.
Hell yeah. All right, people, we're gonna sign off. Everyone, love to all. God bless. Like, subscribe, share the videos. And as always,
thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. And you know those magic words, baby. Aloha.